Sometimes when you're working on an old piano, this one's 1883, you end up in a situation where maybe you don't have every part you need, but there's a lot of ways to handle things. This is a hammershank that has been, reshaped. I'll probably take it down just a little bit more, but the real problem here is that this elbow joint, shank joint, isn't free moving. They're supposed to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's specification, and this is 1. What'll happen is that it won't go down. When you hit a note, it'll stay up and it'll bust right off if you're not careful. So normally what you do is you pull it out and then you get another pin and you burnish this and then you put the new pin in, but I'm out of pins. So there's another way to do it, and I'll show you what it is. Step number 1 is to pull the pin very, very carefully. Like that. Now, the reason that these don't move smoothly in here is that this pig eye made of felt, compressed felt, over the years gets gunked up. A lot of it's moisture, and so it's no longer really quite correct, and you have to burnish it out. But it's not like the pin's ruined. On the other hand, if you put a pin through that has sharp edges on both ends because they're cut off, you'll tear that pig eye right out. So what you can do is you take out the pin, and I flatten the top manually. Then I'm going to create a cone shape in the pin. And this actually works 100% because as long as the edge of the pin as it goes in is not sharp at a 90-degree angle, it will not tear up the pig eye. So all I'm doing is just smoothing this a little bit. So it's not cut at a 90-degree angle anymore. It's now, and you might be saying, well, isn't that going to change how well it grabs in there? No, it won't. The next thing is to polish it out so that it is kind of clean. Now, looking pretty good. The next thing is to burnish these holes. Burnishing is a couple of operations. One of them is to auger it out a little bit, which is what this portion is here. It's a little scratchy sounding when it goes through, and that almost sands it out a little bit. The other part is you're heating it so that it will stay in its shape and the pin can spin in here. So I'd be burnishing even if I had a new pin in here. And that's still too tight. No problem. We'll just do it again. So this is one of those situations where, it's not ideal, but it'll work. As a matter of fact, done properly, it will perform at specification. Perfect. Okay. I take this, and I take this, and this. This goes in here like that. This gets started into this. Like that. I take my tool, come in here, line it up properly. Very nice. That specification are a little freer, but it'll expand and tighten up a little bit. But this now can be put back in the piano. And so that's the way to do this if you want to save a little money and get under the parts.